There is a caveat in this leave given to him. He should seek medical help if he's fine.
Welcome to Spectacle on Television Nigeria. Welcome to Spectacle on Television Nigeria. I am your host, Daniel Atai. Welcome back. Over 308 billion naira has gone into federal road rehabilitation across the country in the past 3 years. And of course, the 7 most dangerous roads, which are termed federal roads in Nigeria, are: number 1, the Abuja to Kaduna Road; number 2, the Okigwe to Umuahia Road; number 3, the Makurdi to Otukpo and to Otukpa Road; number 4, the Lagos Shagamu or Benin Road; number 5, Lagos Ibadan Express Road; and number 6, Enugu Oka Onitsha Road; and 7, Abuja Lokoja Okene Kaba Road. And of course, we said that the Abuja to Lafia and Lafia to Makurdi Road is another dangerous road that's supposed to incorporate the number to 8. Note, out of the 335 billion allocated for capital projects in the budget to the Ministry of Works and Housing, 124 billion naira has been proposed for construction and provision of roads in the 2019 budget. This amount is lower though by 14.7 billion naira compared to the 138.8 billion budgeted for the same purpose in 2018. Further analysis showed that the budget for road repairs in 2019 also got a massive cut though, dropping by 56 billion naira. The sum of 103 billion was budgeted in 2019 compared to the 159 billion in 2018. Another painful issue about the state of the dilapidated roads in the country is the fact that state governors and or private or corporate organizations do not have the constitutional power to construct or rehabilitate these roads, which are largely known as federal roads across the 36 states. I am of the opinion that the National Assembly or the FG should lift that embargo. Severally, we have cried, and many analysts have also said that, opined that the National Assembly is preventing the private and corporate interests from rehabilitating federal roads. More so, the FG should ensure the implementation of the budget for road provisions and repairs, since the usual norm of corrupt contracts and embezzlement have put road infrastructure in the country in a dead hole of over 2 decades. Sadly, it is worrisome to know that in just 3 years, over 20,000 persons have died due to road accidents, which could be largely blamed on bad roads. Anyway, with me in the studio to analyze this particular subject, one, Ade Dela. Comrade Ade Dela, you are welcome to Spectacle program.
Thank you, Mr. Dan.
Ade Dela, of course, is a columnist and our news editor here. And second by my left is a beauty queen, queen, the current face of Arewa. Her name is Jamila Idris. Jamila Idris, you are welcome to Spectacle.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Okay, good. I will start from you as a queen of the face of Arewa. Arewa is a socio-cultural organization in the north central, in the northern Nigerian zone. Now, what do you make of the statement of the minister? Though he said, not all Nigerian roads are as bad as portrayed by the media in the country. And that statement doesn't seem to go well with Nigerians who are already posting various pictures on Twitter and everywhere about their bad roads. And some people are even arguing that over 80% of the road in the country are bad. So what do you make up of that statement from the minister?
Actually, personally, I don't like that statement, because him coming out to say not the roads are not really bad as portrayed in the media is wrong. Because even especially in the north central, like Kogi, Lokoja to Abuja road is really bad. I'm talking about the capital city of Kogi State.
Yeah.
It's the roads are bad. Probably he may be talking about the town, like maybe Asokoro, Mitama road that he's always passing. You know, he's not the type that usually will use
fly
roads
the road,
to
yes.
travel.
He fly through the airplane.
Yeah, so he may not really know. So and maybe he only I want to give him the benefit of doubt that he's talking like that because according to him that there was a money that not actually the money has not been paid, but they are really working on the road that he's just waiting for the
budget,
yeah.
the budget,
like the Hamatan where that should come before he would start. So that statement to me is wrong. The roads are bad. Nigerian roads are really bad. 80% of the roads are bad.
Okay, 80% of Nigerian roads are bad. All right, that is your part take. I'll still come back to you. Della, of course, you heard the minister. It is still trending and it is worrisome, and it will keep trending until he fixes the road because the onus is on him. What is your take?
Thank you, Dan. The issue here is that I would not want to say that the Minister Fashola is misinformed. I would want to assume that he's trying to sugarcoat the condition of the roads. He's trying to portray it in such a way that people will not stop using the roads and begin to trek. Because the Nigerian roads, if there's any other word to use, especially those roads that you mentioned, have been applied on a few of them, especially just like the Queen said, the Kaba Lokoja road is really terrible. It's terrible. It's a death trap. The Bini or Express Road and the Shagamu Road, Lagos.
Sadly enough, is the area he said are good. We can't even justify the statement.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Maybe he's trying to sugarcoat the whole thing and trying to buy the favor of the masses to actually think that he's working. And then this is not even his quota. Rotimi Amechi is there trying to find a way.
As a minister of road and
transport, trying to find a way to to even use alternative transport and avoid the roads totally.
Yes.
Working on the train and all of those things in Ogun State. I saw them over the weekend with the vice president using. The issue is that Fashola is in the know. He knows what is happening. You understand? But as a government official, you cannot come out and cry. As somebody that is sleeping on that same bed, you cannot come out and cry like, hey, we are dying. He's just trying to say the roads are not really so bad.
Yeah.
People should come on. We can always have it. We are working on something. You understand?
Yeah.
It's just to ease people's tension. If left to me, if I have my way, I won't use those roads.
Yeah.
I won't use those roads.
Because the road, within 3 years, from 2016...
You can imagine a lot of accidents that have happened.
Yeah, it's not even because of the other factors that causes accident, like sharp practices overtaking at the corner or hill and so on, or brake from vehicles. But it was largely blamed on bad road portions of the road that are causing accidents,
Of course.
boxing tires and so on. 20,000 persons have died
In 3 years.
in 3 years, and it is alarming to say that this is another state of terrorism.
Of course.
If the minister will come out to justify his
This is
statement
another state of terrorism coming from the government.
coming from the government.
Terrorism and oppression.
Anyway, the Queen.
For me, I want to
You're not terrorizing us.
Popular hashtag now that he should also use the road, and let's since the roads are good, we should all
Yeah, you
enjoy
should take
it.
the road
Yeah.
challenge.
Yeah, I think Nigerians, we should all tell our ministers, both that of transport and that of works and housing, to use the road.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
should
let
use
them
the
come
road
out. I'll
to
volunteer
us.
my car. If they ever- let them come out. Let them lead the front. We'll follow them.
Yeah.
Nigerians,
Anywhere they pass on the
They should
road,
stop
we will
flying
pass
from
it.
Lagos to Abuja,
Do you-
Abuja to Port Harcourt.
Okay.
They should
Okay.
also
Fly
use the
everywhere.
road.
okay,
Yeah.
do you think Nigerians should stage a national protest towards this particular statement,
Yes.
to
Yes.
protest this kind of statement?
Yes, I think we should all do that. They should be using the road and stop flying. And because we don't have money to
If
always
they use
fly.
more of the roads, I don't think any of them will come out and say
And
this.
say this, of course, they won't. They won't.
All right. Georgie, you are representing the face of Arewa, and you're
North
also
Central.
North Central, and you host Art, Life and Style. What would you propose to the government to do? This is over 2 decades. That is over 20 years. Let me say 3 decades now. Our roads have been like this, and nothing seems to have been done. What would you say to the government? What would you say to the government?
The only thing we can say is just to keep talking, shouting. They should help us. They should help us fix the road. They should help, since everybody has been talking about it. They should just help us fix the road. That's the only thing we can say. So I think we should just keep pushing and keep shouting that these roads are bad. You people should help us. Or government of Nigeria, help us fix our roads.
Are they really listening?
So if they don't listen, I think there should be a national protest then.
All right.
If everybody from every part of the country, every corner of the country is out, the roads are bad, help us. I think they will listen this time.
Okay.
I bet to disagree
Okay.
with the Queen. See, the thing is that there are levels of challenges. These things, they are basic needs that we need.
Yeah, basic infrastructure.
Infrastructure. We don't need to shout to the government, for Christ's sake. Let them do this thing. If they don't use the road, somebody from their families use the road. And moreover, this is supposed to be a facility that will benefit the rich and the poor.
If you look at the pictures of the road, the state of the road,
They are so terrible.
which country?
There's
do
no
you
other
see-
country. There's
do
no,
you see
there's no
road like
country.
this?
Even
Dilapidated
India is
state
not
of
like that.
Yes. Look at
Even
the
countries where they are at war
But you know, these people don't
for years, they
care.
don't have such bad roads.
such bad road. Even countries that are at war.
It begins to worry me what the government is doing. If they cannot fix road, they can't make internet available, no water, no light, no hospital. For Christ's sake, what do we have?
And the minister will say to the people that I know this will make your headline, but if you are talking about the bad portions of the road, you should also talk about the good portions of the road. I think the onus is on him now to show us the good
If you
portions
show
of
us
the
a
road.
good part. Left to me, the best road that I've seen in this country is still the one that Dangote is constructing, and it's yet undone.
Which one is that?
That's from Obajana to Kaba.
Okay. It's yet to be done. It's yet to be.
It's yet to be done. Maybe that's it. That you can't boast on that. The government cannot boast on what an individual is doing.
All right.
Mr. Della, these people, though it's our right, they have to do it for us, but they will not do it because they are less concerned about the masses. So I think it's better we just keep shouting.
But the lives of Nigerians that have been lost should at least move them.
Yes, 20,000
20,000
is more than
in
what
3 years.
In 3 years, 20,000. That is a report.
In
And,
3 years, some countries don't lose that. They don't ever lose that kind of
more than
number.
20,000.
Within
The report
10
from
years,
the
they don't lose
MBS
that.
and from the Federal
even
Road
countries that
Safety
have
Commission.
tsunami and all those things, they don't lose such.
And just because of infrastructural decay, with reference to road infrastructure.
And then you
now
see a minister of that country coming out to say this, and all of that.
Do you think that Fashola should resign because of that statement?
I don't think he should resign. I think he should come out and correct what he said.
But in a Senate client,
he should take the road challenge.
They asked him to resign, or probably he could have resigned for making that kind
I'm
of.
not of the opinion for him to resign.
He should take the road challenge.
Yeah, he should take the road challenge.
Let him take the road challenge, and after come out to say that I'm sorry.
Don't you think that taking the road challenge is a myopic way of condescending or being contempt with the situation from the populace? Taking the road challenge, if we ask him to take the road challenge, would he ever do that?
Why won't he do it?
How is he going to do it when there are planes for him to fly?
Is he not the minister of the people? The minister of the people should listen to the people. The people are more powerful than 10 ministers.
Which one is easier, to take the road challenge, Mr. Fashola, to take the road challenge or to resign?
I think to take the road challenge is easier on his side.
So Nigerians should persuade him, push him to take the road challenge.
We should see him taking the challenge.
All right.
And see him stopping at some of those death traps that they have made there.
Okay. You can hear the analysts. Of course, audience are listening, and we believe that the government too, they are listening to us and the cries of Nigerians across the media. Within these 2 days, it's been Fashola take the road challenge and experience the potholes, the damages to our cars, the damages to lives and properties, because lives are being lost because of the bad road situation in the country. We are now coming out, the masses, especially analysts and various arms of government. Last week, it was a protest in Ogun State, where lawyers were protesting the bad road situation in Ota that house over 600 industries. And they are saying that if nothing is done within 14 days, they are going to come out a mass to protest this road situation against the government. And I think it's going to be a national trend. I myself will join. I know Comrade Ade will join. The Queen of Arewa will join. All of us will join the Fashola take the road challenge. And our ministers too to take the road challenge. After this short break, we'll be back again to Profile Solutions. Stay tuned.
The issue here we have to begin to look at is that at the time of independence, I don't know if there was a trajectory to where we are going to.
But how could it be that credible, free and fair under manual conduct of election?
That is where our problem lies, and that is why people are now seeing that, advising that we should move, that the world has gone into digital. We should move from the manual to the digital.
We cannot keep doing same thing and expecting a different result.
The only way you create jobs from your ministry is that you have to encourage local content.
If you look at the profile of Sally Mama,
there is a caveat in this leave given to him. He should seek medical help if he's fine.
Welcome to Spectacle on Television Nigeria. Welcome back. We're still talking about road infrastructure from Spectacle program here on TVN. And with me in the studio are two analysts, Adedela, a columnist and a news editor, and Jamila Idris. Jamila, I wanted to ask you, happy Eid Malud.
Oh, do I say same to you or thank you?
Yeah,
You're not a Muslim, right?
But I am a humanist.
Okay,
I
same
study
to
all
you.
books and I believe in the Quran too.
Oh, that's good. So same to you.
So how are you celebrating? This is the birth of the Prophet, the Holy Prophet Muhammad.
The Holy Prophet was born today, and people are out there celebrating. Do not all Muslims celebrate Maulud?
Okay.
Yeah. You know, we have the Tijaniyas, we have the Sunnis, and we have the Shiites. So this Maulud of a thing is mostly celebrated by the Tijaniyas.
Okay.
Like me, I'm a Sunnist. I don't celebrate Maulud. but I believe in it.
Okay.
But I don't celebrate it. Because as the Sunnis, we believe that Maulud is bid'ah. And bid'ah means something that is not very necessary, like it's not important. You must not do it.
The birth of the prophet is important to me.
It is important. It is very important,
Yes.
but not to celebrate it. In Islam, some Muslims don't believe in celebrating birthdays.
Anyway, we are talking about bad road now, so
of the Prophet Muhammad.
When I become a Muslim, you will teach me all those things.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Now we're going to talk about the budget at using these few minutes. Over 335 billion, and especially 308, and this very 219, 103 billion, 0.8 billion appropriated into the road construction and provisions and rehabilitation. Do you think this money is enough? Because we learned that there is a slash of 57 billion compared to what was allocated to this particular sector in 2018. This is 2019. So why the drop? If we are complaining of this bad road, this amount of money budgeted, though it's still a budget, we don't know whether it will be implemented.
Thank you, Dan. Let me say first. I'm not an economist.
Yeah.
I'm an analyst.
Yeah.
I know what is right.
Yeah.
When I see it, and I also know what is wrong when I see it.
Yeah.
What I know now is that we have no roads.
Good.
We have either we have used 10 trillion or 100 whatever blockchains. Sir, there's no effect to that. There's no record for it. There's nothing to show for it.
No justification.
There's no record, no justification for it.
Okay.
So I would say, let's begin by looking into the records. The time they gave 350 something billion,
which was just 218.
Which was just 218. What was done with it? So nobody come and tell me that you just built a railway for that amount, or you just bought some buses for that amount. There need to be proper documentation
and implementation.
Even if the minister is dead, the office is not dead.
Yes.
The files are not dead. Let them bring it out. You know why?